I paid $500,000 for a lakefront cabin, and just 3 days later, I was escorted off my own backyard by the police. Not because I broke a law, but because my HOA president waved a fake map and swore the entire shoreline belonged to her. By the time I uncovered the truth, we learned she'd stolen $47,000 from the whole neighborhood, and I shut her empire down with a single steel gate. Act 1. The Welcome. Name's Jake Morrison, 35, video game developer, single, finally living the dream. I worked nights, weekends, holidays. Every dollar went into buying that little cabin on Clear Blue Lake. Picture this: sun rising over still water, me coding on the porch, maybe learning to fish like my dad used to. Peace. That's all I wanted. The moving truck backed into my driveway, birds singing, air crisp. 30 seconds into my new life, she appeared, Victoria Cross, HOA president, silver hair pulled back tight, clipboard clutched like it was a weapon. She crossed the street with the confidence of a general inspecting troops. "Excuse me," she barked. "Your truck is blocking traffic." I looked around. Empty street. Not even a squirrel crossing. "I can move it right now, ma'am," I said, still holding a box of computer cables. But she wasn't listening. She pulled out her phone, dialed 911 like she'd been rehearsing. "Yes? Dispatch. There's a truck blocking our community road. Driver won't cooperate." My jaw dropped. I hadn't even had a chance to cooperate. 10 minutes later, a police cruiser rolled up. The officer sighed as he stepped out. "Morning, Mrs. Cross. What's the problem today?" Today, and like this was routine. He looked at my truck, then the empty street. "Ma'am, it's on his property. No violation." He turned to me with tired eyes. "Welcome to the neighborhood. You'll figure it out." Victoria smiled, lips tight. "Beautiful place," she said, staring at my cabin like it was stolen treasure. "My family used to own every piece of this land, and one day I'll see it back." Her tone sent a chill through me. This wasn't just about rules, this was personal. Act 2. The Squeeze. 3 days later, I filed a perfect application for a small dock drawings, environmental study, everything. Rejected. Reason: incomplete environmental data. I hired an expert, paid $800. Got a 47-page report. Rejected again. This time, materials not up to community beauty standards. I upgraded to fancy cedar wood. Rejected again. Visual offense to neighbors enjoying the lake. By the fourth rejection, I realized it wasn't about rules. It was about power. That's when the real bomb dropped. HOA emailed me an official property map. According to it, every inch of shoreline behind my house, behind everyone's house, belonged to the HOA, meaning my $500,000 lakefront property didn't actually touch the lake. I tested it, walked 30 feet from my back deck to dip a toe in the water. Halfway there, Victoria appeared out of nowhere, clipboard in one hand, phone in the other. "Stop right there. You're trespassing on HOA property." She had a violation slip ready, camera recording. She called the cops again. When Officer Johnson arrived, she shoved papers at him. "He's been warned. This is community land." He compared her map to his system, sighed yay, and told me, "Sir, based on this paperwork, I need you to return to your house." That 30-foot walk back was the longest of my life. Neighbors peered through curtains as if I was a criminal. Victoria stood arms crossed, smiling like she'd just captured a king on a chessboard. That night, I sat in my living room, staring at the lake like a prisoner staring through bars. I thought about selling, cutting my losses, walking away. $500,000 gone. Dream crushed. Maybe she really was unstoppable. But then I thought of my dad. He used to say, "Son, when bullies steal your ground, you don't back up, you dig in." So I dug. The twist. Walter Hayes, 72, retired professor, down the road. Kind face, cautious eyes. He'd hinted something was complicated about the lake. I knocked on his door with Victoria's map in hand. He studied it, chuckled. "Well, That's not just wrong, it's fake. She's good with computers, but not this good." Walter brought out a shoebox of history-old photos, contracts. One photo stopped my heart. Victoria's father, Henry Cross, signing papers in 1963, a sign behind him reading, "Public lake access permanent by county order." Walter explained, Henry lost the land in debt, forced to sell. County law required public lake access forever. You, Jake, and every lakefront owner have rights she can't take away. Victoria knows she's banking on you never finding out. For the first time, I felt hope. Walter and I hit the county courthouse basement, dust flying off files older than both of us. The clerk found the subdivision records, clear as day. Permanent public access to lake waters shall be preserved forever. I hired a survey company to lock it down. $3,000. My renovation savings gone, but worth it. They confirmed it. I owned lake access. HOA never had authority. While waiting, I pulled HOA financials, 15 years of lake maintenance fees, $50 a month, 47 houses. That's 47 degrees. No receipts, no contracts, just administrative costs. It wasn't just me versus Victoria. She'd been bleeding the whole community. I could have confronted her then, but instead I played weak. I acted beaten, sad, walking with slumped shoulders. Victoria strutted around, planting no trespassing signs, like a queen claiming territory. Perfect! Her arrogance would be her undoing. Act 3. The showdown. Friday morning, 6 a.m. A steel gate installation truck rolled into my driveway. Crew unloaded beams like they were fortifying a fortress. Permits stamped by the county. Cameras on my porch recording every angle. Victoria spotted it mid-coffee walk. She froze, then stormed across the street. Phone already at her ear. Officer Johnson, it's Victoria Cross. Unauthorized structure on community land. Send units now. She paced the sidewalk, yelling for the neighborhood to hear. You've started a war. Jake, you have no idea who you're dealing with. I'll ruin you. Neighbors poured out, phones up, murmuring. Walter arrived with his old photograph in hand, smiling faintly. Officer Johnson pulled up, wearier than ever. Victoria launched into her rehearsed speech, shoving her fake map into his hands. I waited, then handed him my folder. Surveyor's report. 1963 county records. Official building permits. Every page stamped and sealed. Johnson studied them carefully, compared signatures, entered permit numbers. His face softened. Mrs. Cross, he said at last. According to these records, Mr. Morrison has full lake access rights and legal permits. This is private property. He's within his rights. Victoria's face drained color. Neighbors gasping. Cameras zoomed. I stepped forward. And since we're all here, let's talk about our fees. 15 years, $50 a month, 47 houses, $47,000 collected for lake maintenance. On a lake the HOA never owned. Gasps turned into shouts. The woman from House 12 yelled, "That's $9,000 we paid." An older man shook his head. "We skipped vacations for those fees." Voices rose. "Where's the money?" "Show receipts." Victoria stammered. "I was protecting the community. My father's legacy." Walter held up the photo. This is her father signing the papers. And behind him proof that lake access is permanent. She's known for years. Phones recorded from every angle. Neighbors pressed closer. Someone shouted, "You stole from us." Another, "We'll sue." Victoria's voice cracked, tears streaking. "Please, I was trying to save what he built." But no one bought it. The crowd roared, drowning her out. She was cornered, powerless. I turned, pressed the remote. My new steel gate slid shut with a loud mechanical click that echoed like a gavel slamming. Justice sealed. Victoria's empire crumbled right there in front of the people she thought she ruled. Closing. Within hours, neighbors were calling lawyers. The state attorney general, demanding refunds. Kids splashed in the lake for the first time in years. Victoria walked away hunched, folder limp at her side, like a dethroned monarch. I stood on my porch, looking at the water that had cost me so much pain. Now finally mine to touch. Relief, not joy, washed over me. She thought she owned the lake, but the truth was simpler. She owned nothing except a 15-year lie that finally drowned. Sometimes you don't pick the fight. Sometimes the fight picks you, and when it does, you either give up or you stand your ground. This is Jake, and you just heard another story from HOA Outrage, where Karens meet their match.